begin in Michigan, where there is a large protest underway at the state capitol against the governor's extended order to stay at home. People showed up in cars and on foot outside the Capitol saying they are fed up. Thousands were expected at the protest, at which organizers encouraged social distancing. But some weren't adhering to that warning during this protest. Joining me now, live from the rally in Lansing, is WDIV reporter, our affiliate in Detroit, Rod Meloni. Rod, I have to say, I'm very curious watching this, because this could be in the future of 49 other governors, for all we know, in the weeks and months to come. Tell us about it.
Well, you know, Governor Gretchen Whitmer had an order in place early on, and then last Thursday she extended that order, but she doubled down on the things that you could and couldn't do. And that is really what has brought all of this on. Now, if you take a look behind me, Chuck, you can see traffic going blocks down the street. Now, yesterday, this street was empty because it's the street here, Congress Street, right in front of the Capitol in Lansing. Legislature's not in. Everybody's home. But today, it is jam-packed. Now, as you were talking about, when they did this rally, they were saying that they wanted people to stay in their cars. Social distance, honk your horn, bring your truck, but stay in the truck. Well, as you can see behind me here, that has not happened here. A lot of people decided to come on foot. Now, there are a number of differing groups that have decided to go along with this protest, and that's what we've discovered. Because the original group that wanted people to stay in their cars, for the most part, people did stay in their cars, but in this particular instance, other groups joined in as well. Lots of signs, a lot of people feeling like their liberty has been infringed upon. One of the guys walked up to me and said, look, you can smoke pot, you can smoke grass in the state of Michigan, but you can't mow it. And that's the problem, is that there are a lot of inconsistencies that people see in the governor's order. And so as it stands right now, this protest was supposed to go from noon to 2. It started at 11, and here we are at about 20 after 1, and it is still going strong.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.